had to turn up this fan. I'm gonna have to make more space because I got the couch right here up on me. All right, all right, all right. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We're gonna wait a few more minutes before I begin. All right, all right. Ooh, here I go. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this devil platform with another message. And I will say this is a lovely day in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, shall and I will rest therein. Sister Deborah is coming with a pretty heavy topic. Where is thy power? Where is thy power? And reason for this topic and this message, it has a great deal to do with what is actually taking place in this day and time where you see not any power, but you see many claiming that they are. And they don't understand when you say that you are the power, where is thy power? This is going to be a pretty good message. And before Sister Deborah start, I want to say, stop. This is not for you. Let me say that again. Stop. Third time, stop. This is not for you. This message is not for you if you have no idea of what spirit and truth is, was, and shall be in the last days. I want to say stop because this message is pretty much too heavy for you. So it's no need in you stepping into something that you cannot handle, nor comprehend, nor understand. So I would advise you that to what they say, get out of the skillet because it's going to get hot. So again, the topic is where is thy power? Everybody claiming to have the Ruach HaKodesh. Everybody claiming to have him within them. Everybody claiming they know who the Most High Yah is and that he lives in them. He leads them. He guides them. He teaches them. But yet I say unto you, where is thy power? Something happened to me this morning. I went to bed pretty late last night, and I woke up this morning because of what was said in me. And it wasn't that I was still asleep when it said it. And you know the strange thing about it? I don't know. I know something else was said, but what I brought out of the dream while I was still asleep, one thing I brought out, and what I brought out woke me up. And I was like, I wasn't ready to get up. That's what I said. I said, I'm going to lie right here. And I said, oh, no. I'm thinking about what was said. This is what was happening to Sister Deborah. So I decided to get up, even though I wasn't really ready, but I was awakened out of a dream with a mighty word. And that was, thou shalt receive power. Now, I know about all of that. And I'm going to be honest. That's all I can be because I don't know no other way but to be honest. And that is, I know what that power is. I know what it's like. I've used that power, so I know it exists. So somewhere along the line, the dream was there because I remember the end of the dream was said to me, and thou shalt receive power. And I'm like, what was that all about? Going back again. I've seen the power. I received the power. I even used the power. Yes, I did more than once. So therefore, I know of this power, but I feel he's saying something to me in this day and time. And I think that if it's what I'm thinking, which I believe it is, it's high time, Sister Deborah, go back into what she knows, and that is to use that power. So after that, I got up, I fed the dog, and I went straight to the Bible, the instructions and direction guide. And before I began to read, I felt compelled to get on YouTube and upload a live session in advance. Again, where is thy power? Again, please stop. This message is not for you. This message is for those who walk, talk, and live, sleep in spirit and truth, because that's really where we're at. Okay. So this message might not be geared to your flesh. Okay. So that's why Sister Deborah says stop. So to kind of help you out so that you won't waste your Sabbath time or your time hearing what you don't understand, taking in what you cannot hear. You see, I wouldn't want you to do that. Or what you cannot see. So this here is going to be a message regarding the power. And after this message, you should be able to measure yourself. You should be able to measure yourself to just see, are you all that and some that you claim to be? You feel you have? Because this is a topic that you're not going to find the men of Jerusalem nor Judah preaching and teaching, because they don't have this power. You see, they have not received this power. This is why you hear men and women across the board claiming this most high Yah, this Ahaya, this Yahuwah. They claiming and claiming and claiming, but where is thy power today? Okay. And I'm going to start from the book of Romans, chapter 15. We're coming from the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 13 and 14. I want to show you something so you could see. Before heaven and earth were created, everything was. That means everything that you see today, it was in the bosom of the Father before heaven and earth was created. So we sometimes think that these things are new things. These are things he's seeing. So we run to him and begin to try to teach him what is going on. And we don't understand it's finished in him. That means what we're experiencing and seeing and hearing, hey, he done been there, done that, and it is what you call a done deal. It is finished. We are just walking his finished work out. Let me say that again. We are just walking his finished work out. But I want to leave you with something before we go into Romans chapter 15, verse 13 and 14. I want to leave you something and hope that you allow this to mend to your heart, because this would help you in the long run in this journey. Okay? Again, we are walking what is finished in him already. You see, we're thinking that he don't know what's going on. He don't see it. He don't understand it. He don't feel it. And we feel that we could tell him something. Let me tell you, ain't nothing you can tell my father that he already did not know of. Everything has already been put before him. So Sister Deborah, as a prophetess in the wilderness, a servant of the Most High Yah, not the servant of men and women, not the servant of the flesh, not the servant of the system, not the servant of Satan, but the servant of the Most High Yah. Okay. And I've been his student since the age of 4. Most likely it probably was before then, but I've been a student under his spirit, the Ruach HaKodesh. And I want to share with you something that I learned throughout my young teen age, somewhere about 17, 18, 19, up in there. I learned something. I learned something out of what took place before the foundation of the world. But I learned that even younger, that something had took place before the foundation of the world. But I want to show you what was given to me, because I want to just pull this up just to show you. Here it is here. And I'm going to keep this here. I like it. I like how I print it out. You got something here that took place before the foundation of the world. Why did it take place? Because it is a brand. These are brands that are in Yah, okay? That he has branded individuals' spirit with these here characteristics. This is his brand. One is called, and the number one on here is righteousness. Okay. Another brand is belief. Another brand is faith. Another brand is fear. These are the brands that are branded in the spirits, which were angels at one time, that come down to work on Yah behalf. Now, these characteristics fall in the spirit, okay? But these same characteristics also is detached to the flesh of man. So each spirit is and resting in the flesh of a man or a woman. And the flesh has its belief. It has its righteous. It has its fear. And it has its faith. It is separate from this righteousness, belief, faith, and fear. And that's what you see on the earth today. The flesh brand going up against the spiritual brand, and it will not stand a chance. Why? Because everyone is born to die. Their flesh is already assigned to the grave. So when the flesh go down, their fleshly righteousness, their fleshly belief, their fleshly faith, their fleshly fear, their fleshly knowledge, their fleshly understanding, their fleshly wisdom, their fleshly emotions, and their fleshly feelings goes to the grave where it belongs and never to return. But these brand comes back. They don't die. These are brands from the Most High Yah. This is his brand. It lives eternal. So which one you think you would desire? What do you say to the world today? They desire the brands that comes in their, that is detached to their flesh. And they know nothing about this here. I also learned that I had an issue. I really had an issue with the Gentiles being grafted in. But who do I go to? I went strictly to the throne of the Most High Yah after going through Yeshua HaMashiach. I got an opportunity to go to the throne of the Most High Yah with this issue of what's the deal with the Gentiles being grafted in. For I see not any characteristics of them, none whatsoever. It's seen, Father. How can they dare be grafted in? Bam. These are the brands that took place before the foundation of the world. The Gentiles are not being grafted in just to be grafted in based on their flesh, based on their flesh wisdom, knowledge, understanding, belief. No. Gentiles are being grafted in out of two of these, belief and fear. Now, this belief and fear is not what they believe on the earth in the flesh. Belief and not fear, belief and faith. They are grafted back in to where? The bosom of Yah, the heavens. Through what? Belief and faith. They come back in. Now, I want you to see this here. This took place before the foundation of the world. You remember the lamb that was slaughtered before the foundation of the world? All right. Those that are found in the Lamb Book of Life has these here brands branded in their spirit. And the Gentiles come back through belief and faith. The children of the Most High Yah comes back through righteous belief, faith, and fear. They have to be branded. The Gentiles will never make it into the kingdom if they don't have belief or faith branded in them. So the question was, you come to my mighty throne to ask me about the Gentiles being grafted in, because in the day in which thou standest, thou understand not, because you see it not, you hear it not, you behold it not. So where is it? The Father told me they coming in the place in which they left. Before the foundation of the world, the Gentiles were already grafted in. They came in through belief and faith. They are written in the Lamb Book of Life under belief and faith. So they don't have to come down here and role play for you and I. They don't have to know who you are or who you say you are. They don't have to cater to you. They don't have to serve you. Heavens has already branded them to return, and he marked them in the Lamb Book of Life. Okay? All this stuff that you all have been teaching is because your flesh desire flesh. Serve is a servant of the Most High Yah, not he that serves your flesh, teaches your flesh, feeds your flesh, but he that serves the Most High Yah. And he served the Most High Yah by speaking spirit and truth. So when you see this here, this is the children that's going to return. They are already written in the Lamb Book of Life. The blood of the Lamb has already marked them. Why? Because, see, the Lamb wasn't slaughtered on the earth. He was slaughtered in the heaven. Everything was done from the heavenly level, even though man wants to claim it on a earthly ground. Let me say that again. Everything was orchestrated and created in the heavens so that man can't claim, boast, pride-minded of giving it to you the way they want to on this earth. Okay, so this is a great deal. This is going to help a great deal in this message. Where is thy power today? Okay, now let's go to the book of Romans, chapter 15, verse 13. When I graph this, it's to help you understand this has been orchestrated in the heavens before heaven and earth was created. The lamb was slaughtered. And those that fall under this category has already been written in the Lamb book of life. Okay? So they will return back into the who? The bosom of the Creator, in which branded them with these. Okay? That's why you go to Google and you pick up you key in blameless in the Bible, and you'll see him talking to many, saying, I hold you blameless. Why? Because you are branded for my name's sake. Praise the mighty Yah. And what that does is set many, many, many millions of people free from thinking they have to walk the way a man say walk. They have to talk a way a man say talk. They got to act a way a man say act. They got to feel a way a man say feel. They got to follow their people's calendar days, moon, feast. They got to eat the way the flesh of man say eat. They got to wear their hair a way a man say wear your hair. You got to wear your clothing. Those are all things that goes to the grave, you guys. They made a fool out of you real good. All these things in which man is forcing upon people based on a religion and a cult are things that dies, that goes to hell, which is the grave. So we're trying to master the things of the flesh and have 100% totally forsaken those things which are spirit. And that's where is thy power today. You don't have it. You can't find it. You look for it. You don't know where to get it because you have denied the power therein. Okay, so when Sister poured this up, when she began to read, it's just a sign to show you that it's these brands are all up in and out of every book that says it is a Bible. It says it. Guess who couldn't do away with it? Everybody that went into the book of instructions and direction and removed many things and added many things. Guess what they couldn't remove, nor could they add? The brand of the Most High Yah for his name's sake. Why? Because Yah has branded these things in his, that they may return to him with these very same brands. Okay? Now, here we go. Romans chapter 15, verse 13 and 14, it reads, Yah of hope fill you with all joy and peace in believing. Ooh, I see believe. You see that? If you think for 1 minute that your flesh has the sense to believe in that which is spirit, you are doomed right now. You are doomed right now. People have not learned how to get the flesh under the subjection to the spirit, even though they have submitted their flesh up under man. That means I cannot submit myself under Yah if I have submitted myself under the flesh of a man. Okay? Let's continue. Romans chapter 15, verse 13. Now, Yah of hope fill you. Wait a minute, Father. You're saying you feel with all joy and peace in joy and peace in what? Believing. That was Yah. That's what he's telling you. that ye may be abound, that ye may abound in hope through the power of the Holy Spirit, which is the Ruach HaKodesh. Now, through the what? The power of the what? The Holy Spirit. Let's read that again. Romans chapter 15, verse 13. Now, the Yah of hope fill you with all joy and peace. In, how did he fill you with it? In the belief that ye may abound in hope through what? Through what? Deborah, come on, say it. Through what? Through the power of the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the Holy Spirit. The power of that Holy Spirit. The power of that Holy Spirit. The power of that Holy Spirit. Do they know who the power is? No, they don't. Father Yah said they rejected from the beginning. And they made their own power up. Their own understanding of my power. They made it up. Okay? Verse 14. And I myself also am persuaded of you, my brethren, that ye also are full of goodness, filled with all knowledge, able also to admonish one another. And this is why they can't admonish one another. This is why. Because they don't have these great brands of who Yah is resting in them. They don't have it. Now let's read Romans 15, verse 13. You know what? I think I wrote this down, but it's kind of like it's I might have wrote it a little bit. Let's get it from here. Romans 15 and verse 13. Romans 15, come on here, in verse 13. This is joking with me. Oh, yes, it is. And let's go to 13. And it reads, now, Yahuwah, let's say Yah of hope, fill you with all joy and peace in believing. So that peace and that joy is detached to one of the brands, which is what? Believing. That ye may abound in hope through the power of the Ruach HaKodesh. You mean that the power of the Ruach HaKodesh? Who is that? Who is this power of the Ruach HaKodesh? This is the Creator himself, Almighty. Yahuwah. Ahaya, Ahaya. This is our Father. Okay, verse 14. And I myself also am persuaded of you, my brethren, that ye also are full of goodness, filled with all knowledge, able also to admonish one another. You know, the brother's not going to do that today because they're not filled with these here brands of the Most High Yah. Okay, now let's go to Romans 15 and verse 19. We still in 15. We at 15 and verse 19 and 20. Through verse 19, through the mighty signs and wonders by the power of the Spirit of Yah. There go the Spirit again. Now, where it's kind of sad, and I don't want to keep stopping. But that's the problem Sister Deborah have. It's very hard for me to even give a lesson or to teach something because I see so much anointing and power in each verse to where I need to learn how to pull in and pull out. But I think because the way he has created me, you don't pull out of nothing. You give that thing as it is, which is spirit and truth. Pulling in and out, we're not going to do that. And here, when I go to 19, Romans 15 and verse 19, through mighty signs and wonders. You see that mighty signs and wonders? By the power of the Spirit of Yah. So that from Jerusalem and round about unto Hirlakon, I have fully preach the gospel of Christ. Now I'm gonna have to step in, y'all. And I ain't coming out of this one. This is too deep. As I see here, the Father is connecting something for me to give unto you. He wants you to see in Romans chapter 15, verse 19. He wants you to recognize signs and wonders by the power of the Spirit of God. He wants you to drop down to the last sentence. I have fully preached the gospel of who? Christ. Woo-wee! This is the mystery that has been hidden, but not just hidden. It's only hidden from those who cannot see, nor those who cannot hear. They can't hear, nor can they see it. You see? Here is showing you the gospel has always been about the power, which is Christ. Bump it back up to 19. It begins to tell you through the mighty signs and wonders by the power of the Spirit of the Father. So that from Jerusalem and round about unto Hirlakon, I have fully preached the gospel of Christ. Let me tell y'all what happened. In the book of Genesis, something had took place. And the Father shared with me, if they couldn't recognize the power, Deborah, in the book of Genesis, chapter 1 and verse 26 and 27, he said they never would see the power in the year of 2023. They never knew that the gospel was the power. They never knew that Hamashiach, which is Christ as the world knew and knows, is the power of the Father's right hand. He said they forsaken it when they read the first chapter. Genesis chapter 1, verse 26. Let us, who was the Father speaking unto in the heavens, tell them I was speaking to my power, which is Hamashiach, the right hand. His own right hand was he speaking to. He spoke it and his right hand brought it forth. And man today in the year of 2023 never knew who he was. That's why he said he came into the world and the world didn't receive him. Why? Because they knew not him. Even to today. So when Sister Deborah said, where is thy power? You ain't got none. Where is thy power today? You ain't got none. How can you have the power and you know not to whom the power is? In Romans 15, in the Romans chapter 15, verse 19, listen how smooth it lay out. It says, through the mighty signs and wonders by the power of who? The Father. By the power of who? The Father. So that from Jerusalem and around about unto Hirlikon, and Hirlikon, I have fully preached the gospel of Christ, which is Hamashiach, which is the power. All that time, Yeshua been coming and warning you all. Thousands of years to come. For the gospel is at hand. For heaven is at hand. The gospel is at hand. Why? Letting us know that the power of the Father's right hand is at hand. Right before us. And we missed it then. Year 2023. All the scholars, all the so-called teachers, preachers, Maureen, priests, pastors, bishops, been lost for thousands of years. Why today, Deborah? Because he said in the end days, Deborah, tell them that which was in the light, in the dark. He said, tell them that which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days. So Sister Deborah giving you some mighty word. And guess what? I'm going to give you my testimony afterwards and how I feel about such great word and bringing it forth. I'm going to give you, it is sad. It's sad. But let's continue. In Romans 15, it's showing you, I have preached the gospel of Christ. Who is the gospel of Christ? The power. Because the gospel is the power of the Father's right hand. Verse 20. Yea, so have I stirred. Let me see. Let me get it on here in my book. Verse 19. Yea, so have I strived to preach the gospel. I have strived to preach the gospel, not where Christ was named. He letting you know this gospel is the power of Yah, not the name in which it has detached itself to, which is Yeshua, which the world calls Jesus. He letting you know the power y'all recognize. And here he says in verse 20, ye so have I strived to preach the gospel, not where Christ was named, lest I could build upon another man's foundation. See, we never, now I ain't gonna say we, come on, bring it down, Deborah, bring it down. They never knew that there were two in one mission. Yeshua, which the word called Jesus, born of a woman, seed, could not, because he was what? A son of man, born of a woman's seed. You see? But y'all say, wait, hold up. Wait, hold up. David told us, David warned us. Yeshua HaMashiach backed it up again, and he warned us. He warned us by saying, there's two lords. My Lord told his Lord, sit here on my right hand. Now, who's telling this one to sit here on his right hand? Who's telling him that? Until I make thy enemies on the earth your footstool. That was the Father speaking to the Son that sits in the throne on the right hand of the Father's power. The Father's right hand power is his hand and his stretched out arm. So he said, You sit right there. Who is he talking to? The Son of Man. Until I make this earth, which is the enemy, your footstool. And when I make this earth your enemy, I'm going to give you this right hand of mine. You sure? When you go down, I'm giving you all power. My right hand. Not only that, I'm going to give you my word, but I'm going to give you my power. Because no matter what, the word can't come forth without the what? The power. The spirit can't come forth without what? The power. So I'm going to give you my power. And not only am I going to give you a little, Yeshua, I'm going to give you all of my power for the mission. Where is thy power today? You have none. Because you never believed in the power. Because you never knew the power. You never understood the power. Nor do you have the power. See, you can't have what you don't believe. You think God's going to give you his power and you don't even know what the power is or was and shall be? You don't have what you think you have. Because here in Romans chapter 15 and verse 19, it gives you a clear picture of the power of the Spirit of God. And it turns around and lets you know even the gospel of Christ is the power. When Sister Deborah, why are you saying that? Because everybody knew that for thousands of years. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? They always knew it. Let's go to what? Let's go on to Romans chapter 1 and see what Paul was saying. Let's go to Romans chapter 1. And this is what really kind of throws me off, because I hear the disciples having it right. I hear Yeshua HaMashiach doing an excellent job. Even when he came, he said, the kingdom of heavens is at hand. He's telling you that the gospel is the power that is with me. His name is Christ. The Christ is the right hand of my Father that came down with me. The Christ is the Son of Yah, and I am the Son of Man. They didn't want to listen, even to today. So what happens? Let's step into Romans chapter 1. Let's just kind of hear Paul. Come on over here. Let's hear what you got to say, a little something, something. So in the book of Romans chapter 1, okay, and let's see here. Verse 16. When you get to Romans chapter 1 and verse 16, this is kind of sad. Matter of fact, this is really sad to even preach in this day and time. It's really sad. And that's the way I'm feeling, kind of, because when I was doing the writing down, see, you guys, I wrote everything down so I have it all. I got about 5 sheets, and I was feeling kind of sad. I really was. And it was because I knew that this would be what you call a very powerful message for he that has an ear to hear and an eye to see. But you don't find that many, because the gate is as narrow as my Father said that it is. So it'd be like, you have to keep in mind, me as a prophetess in the wilderness, as a servant of the Most High Yah, I had to keep in mind just that one, Deborah. If that one can get it, that's all that matters to the Father. It ain't about making the narrow gate wide. I'm already prophesied. It's over, Deborah. It's going to be narrow. And very few gonna find it. So don't worry about it. Stay in your lane. Preach that word. Okay, now here we go. When you get to Romans chapter 1, I don't, and I never will, and it ain't for me to accept people denying Paul. Paul had to have existed, or else the Gentiles would never have received anything. So when you hear these Hebrew Israelite people and you hear them following behind a lot of these Europeans who lied about everything from the beginning to the end, and even went in and kind of smeared some things, these are people who lost without a cause. And because we're in that midnight hour, which the Father said, that which was in the dark, Deborah, shall come to the light in the last days. It's only coming to the light in spirit and truth. It's not coming to the light in your precept, your line, your little here, your little there. It's not coming into the light through a 1611, through a King James. It's not coming to your light if you know Hebrew or if you know Greek. It's not coming to your light if you know Torah and you master the Torah. It's not coming to the light because you take a Passovers and feast. It's only coming to the light through the spirit and truth of it all. And that is through the spirit of Yah, the Ruach HaKodesh. Now, when you get to Romans chapter 1, you hear Paul saying something. Verse 16, he says, for I am not ashamed. Ooh, Paul. Hey, no, Paul, hold up, Paul, where you going? Go on, Deborah, stop teasing me. Watch this here. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Where is Yeshua in here? Hey, Yeshua, where are you? Yeshua came and did a wonderful, excellent, perfect job warning us that heaven was at hand. What do you mean at hand? That right hand was in our presence. The right hand is the power of Yah. It is the beloved. It is Hamashiach, the word called Christ. It is all power. Yeshua was saying, Deborah, all power is at hand. That's what he was saying, y'all. That's the gospel. The power is the gospel. That the Father's power is at hand. Preach the gospel. We got to preach the power. Because the power is the only thing that will deliver, that will redeem. Guess what, y'all? Yeshua himself, the Son of Man, born of a woman, shed his blood on the cross for your sin and mine, but it wasn't shed until he went down in the grave, and that power came into him to raise him up on the third day. Done deal. Done deal. Yeshua sacrificed himself, he said, I laid my life down. Tell him, Deborah, ain't nobody took mine. It was laid down before the foundation of the world. He wants you to know he laid his life down. He was the lamb, the blood sacrifice. But it's vain and vexed for him to lay down his life and not rise up. But what happened? When Christ comes back, he goes back into the grave 3 days, raised who? Yeshua up. And now we are redeemed. Him laying in the grave wouldn't redeem us, even though he shed his blood. But the power who Yah is, who allowed him to suffer on that cross. And Yeshua said, oh, wait a minute, Father Yah, why are you forsaking me? Hey, calm down. You know this the plan. We had this plan before the foundation of the world. Calm down. And then what happened? When he got him to calm down, guess what happened? He gave up the ghost. So now the Son of Man is what you call strictly dead. Dead as dead can really mean. They put him in a tombstone. What happened? Christ, which is the power of the Father, went and sat with him 3 days. Raised him up through the power of my Father's right hand, which is Christ, which is Hamashiach. And now the mission is completed. Y'all don't know who y'all dealing with. Thousands of years, and here it is in the year 2023. You've been lied to, you've been deceived, and you're still running your tails out here, happy about being deceived. Now, listen to what Paul said. Romans chapter 1, verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of who? Christ, which is who? Hamashiach. Paul, who asked you to be ashamed? Who asked you to be ashamed of the gospel of Christ? You know what Paul's telling you? It's the same thing Sister Deborah telling you right today. Sister Deborah tell you, I'm not ashamed of the power of Hamashiach. I'm not ashamed of Hamashiach. That's what Paul was saying. You know why he's saying that? Because people have an issue. Because they don't know the truth of the whole matter, which is spirit and truth. Paul is saying, I'm not ashamed of Hamashiach. Because y'all too stupid to know, too ignorant, too blind to see, too deaf to hear. Paul saying, I'm not ashamed of Hamashiach. Let's go on and see what he says. For it is the what? Hey, wait a minute, Paul. Wait a minute. You cutting up. Paul say, for it is the what? The power of Yah. Now, notice what he said. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. Where do you see Yeshua in there? Because this gospel ain't about Yeshua, y'all. Never was and never is. And never shall be. That's just y'all being deceived and loving it every step of the way. Paul's sitting here telling you. Sister Deborah sitting here telling you. Genesis 1:26 telling you. All the way up until today. It's been told. That's why y'all say it's finished. It's over, Deborah. I'm not coming or I'm not sending another. My judgment, my fire is kindled. That's it. You know heaven's in already orchestrated that. It's nothing Sister Deborah can say to the Father. I can't go to his altar telling him to alternate or change or switch, bring this up, bring this down. Hey, I salute whatever he got going on for his name's sake. I'm in there with him. I'm walking far behind him, meaning I can't even, he's too worldly for me to walk that close to him. I'm way in the distance, but yet I'm behind him. In everything that he revealed unto me and teaches me. That's why I'm in the wilderness. That's why I'm not out here with you all playing patty cake. I don't have to step in your rim. I got a rim to run in. I got a lane to run in. Now watch this here. And Paul said, Romans chapter 1 and verse 16, for I am not ashamed of the gospel of Hamashiach. And I said to Paul, well, why should you be? It's all power. Paul said these people were sick then as they are now, Deborah. But I'm not ashamed. That's all power. Watch this here. For it is the power. See, who is the power? The gospel of who? Christ. Not the gospel of Yeshua, but the gospel of who? Christ is the power of Yah unto salvation. See that? It was that power that went and sat in the grave with the Son of Man. That was the Son of Yah sat with the Son of Man. The Son of Yah is Hamashiach, which is the power of Yah sat in the grave with the Son of Man while he rests for those 3 days to bring him back up to fulfill. Yeshua couldn't get up. You can't get up without my Father. You can't see without my Father. You can't hear without my Father. You can't live. You can't breathe. You can't think. You can't pray. You can't fast. You can't forgive. You can't repent. Because you don't know where is thy power. You don't know where it's at today because you never knew the power. You denied the power because you wanted the man's definition of the power. You wanted man's identity of his power, of Yah's power. Well, Yah is here to tell you it is over. It is finished. So if you think for 1 minute, when I send my servant, that's all that's coming. And if you don't receive them, you ain't going to receive nothing no way because I already knew who's who and what's what. Now, Paul says, and to everyone that what? Where's my sign at? Paul said what? Here go Paul. Paul said, we still on 16. Paul said, unto salvation to everyone that what? Bam! Branded for y'all's name's sake. To the Jews first and also to the Greeks that are what? Believe. Why? Because that's one of the Father's brand. And I'm not talking about your flesh believe, y'all. Your flesh believe, your flesh has righteous, your flesh has faith, your flesh has fear, but it's not of God. It is of your own self-stinking, nasty flesh. It is not spirit, nor is it true. But the brand of the Most High Yah is written in the Lamb Book of Life, those that are branded for Yah's namesake. They were branded before the foundation of the world, and then they shall return as it is written. Okay? So there go Paul talking about first to the, he said, believe it. There it is. That's one of the brand. He's telling you to any and everybody that's got that brand in their spirit. Now, he ain't talking about your flesh. Y'all say your flesh can't worship him. Your flesh can't serve him. Your flesh can't honor him. Your flesh is useless. So we are putting this flesh all on pedestal. Okay, now we got that through. Okay, now, did we finish to another another foundation? I like that in Romans chapter 15, verse 20, because it said, ye, so have I strived to preach the gospel, not where Christ was named. Not where Christ was named. So he wants you to know that this is not a flesh thing. It's not that type of Christ that's been named under the flesh. It is the Christ that's named by the power of Yah, the beloved Son, the Son of Yah. That's why he's the Son of Yah, because he's Yah's right hand. Yeshua is the Son of Man, born of a seed of a woman. Two different ones. They come to work one mission. For who? The Father. Okay, let's go to Corinthians. 1 Corinthians. In first, no, is it first? I don't believe I did that. Is it 1 Corinthians? Let me see here. Yeah, 1 Corinthians. Let me see if that's the right one. No, it's 2 Corinthians. I'm sorry. I think it's 2 Corinthians. And I said I was going to change that and did not. That's okay. 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, 2nd chapter. No, wait a minute. Hold up, you guys. He ain't going to get away with that one. No, we finna bag that thing up. And we're going to bag that thing down. Something wrong with this picture. Okay, let me step back over in one and see if that's my we in we in Corinthians. I'm going back to 1 Corinthians. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. And we're going to go in verse 4 and 5. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4 and 5. And we're going to start with 4. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4 and 5. And my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom. Didn't I tell y'all? Flesh of man has a wisdom. They have a knowledge. They have understanding. Okay? They have everything in the flesh that one has in the spirit. And this is why people don't understand. There's two parts to them, flesh and spirit. Kick that soul to the curb. Ain't no such thing. Okay? That's why people don't know that the battle is between flesh and spirit. It's because that soul in the middle, someone put something in the middle that Yah did not put. And that's what's ruling everybody and confusing everybody. Okay? Now, in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4, and my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom. And that's how Sister Deborah is. I'm not about these platforms, y'all. I'm not called to serve and worship these people that's teaching and preaching to you. I'm a servant of the Most High Yah and the Most High Yah only. Okay. And then it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4, but in demonstration of the Spirit and of the power. See? Demonstration of the Spirit and the power. Now, hear it in 1. Verse 4. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4. And my speech and my preaching was not with the enticing words of men's wisdom. He's letting you know, y'all, this ain't got nothing to do with what we understand in our flesh, the wisdom of the flesh, the knowledge of the flesh, the understanding of the flesh. He said, cut it out. But it in the demonstration of the Spirit and of the power. This is why people can't see spirit and truth. They can't see the light. This is why the narrow gate is so narrow. And it's going to remain there. It's nothing Sister Deborah can get on here. I can stand on a mountain and have 1 trillion people. Let's say 1 trillion people. I'm standing on top of a mountain speaking to 1 trillion people. Not one will be moved. Because if Yah's spirit has not implanted it in them already, they are all 1 trillion is lost. But it's heaven knew it. Heaven already knew it. So watch verse 5. We still in 1 Corinthians chapter 2. We went to verse 4. Now we're going to go into verse 5. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of man. Bam! Praise the mighty Yah. What did I tell y'all? Listen to what it's saying. That your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men. Y'all chasing y'all tails in the dark room. And you can't even see the tail you're chasing because it's dark. That's how messed up from the floor of you all are. Running behind these men. For their tail is in a dark room and they chasing it, and you chasing behind the tail in which they are chasing in the dark. And 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4 and 5, we had 5, that the faith should not stand in the wisdom of man. Why not? Faith of Yah is branded in his own, the spirit of those that belong to Yah. See, we're thinking that when we get down here, this is my life. I do what I want. Nobody tell me what to do. Baby, you already in the grave and don't know it. You see, you in the grave already. Since it's your life, nobody tell you what to do. You're right. Guess what? Y'all had already orchestrated your stupid life from the beginning. And he already know your ticket was on the side of the ghosts from the beginning. So what are you talking about? Your life. I'm grown. Nobody tell me what to do. You're right. Don't nobody tell you what to do, because when the Ruach HaKodesh, that power comes, it leads and it's guides. And if you stuck on stupid in your flesh, you're right. Ain't nobody going to tell you what to do, because ain't nobody want to tell you what to do, because what? Bam! You're not branded for my Father's namesake no way. Okay? So here it is in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 5, that your faith shall not stand in the wisdom of men. So why are these women and men chasing the flesh of man? Watch this here. But in the power of Yah. Hallelujah! Y'all, you pulling all up on this power, and they still can't see you. I'm so sorry, Father. I am so sorry. Don't be sorry, Deborah. I knew before the foundation of the world who's who and what's what. Praise the mighty Yah. Because in 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 5, that your faith, if it's in Yah, it ain't got no business chasing the tail of a man in his ugly mouth, should not stand in the wisdom of the flesh of a man, but in the power of Yah. Everything rests in that power. So where is your power? Where is thy power today? Or do you know you have none? Okay. Now, let's go to Matthew's 28. In Matthew's 28 and verse 18. Matthew's 28 and verse 18. Matthew's 28 and verse 18. And it reads, and Yeshua came and spoke unto them, saying, all power. Now, who's speaking? Who's speaking? Who's speaking? The Son of Man. The Son of Man, born of the seed of a woman. And he says, Matthew 28, verse 18. And Yeshua came and spoke unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and in the earth. Hey, what y'all say? Sit here on my right hand until I make that earth, which is the enemy, your footstool. And how was y'all gonna do that? Here, Yeshua, take this, my all power. You're gonna need it. And who was that all power? Christ, Hamashiach, that came down with Yeshua. So Yeshua is letting you know he separate himself. You notice you don't see Yeshua Hamashiach. Why? Because he wants to let you know Hamashiach was given to me, for it is all Yah's power that was given unto me. Praise the mighty Yah. Praise the mighty Yah. Why? Because he's going to need it. That's why. He's going to need it. He wouldn't live the day when they came looking for him before he was even born. He wouldn't have made it. But because of the power, where is the power today? Oh, you can't find it? You lost it somewhere in the house? Oh, no, it's in your fine car and your little big house and your land. Oh, wait a minute, I got to find my power. Where is your power? You're going to find out. You don't have none. You never did. And that's what you're teaching on. No power. Okay? So where does Sister go now? Sister Deborah goes to 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6 through 8. And let's see what Timothy is saying up in here. Let's see what this one is saying. Let me see what Timothy is trying to say here. 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6. You know what? I'm going to sum this up with what I really feel, you guys. I'm talking about as a person in the flesh and one that lives by the spirit of truth. I'm going to sum something up, but when I sum it up, I want you all going to really understand exactly where Sister Deborah is really coming from, because it's a lot of power in what I'm going to say, summing it up. Okay, in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 6 through 8. And what it says is, wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gifts of Yah. Who gifts are they? Yah. Who gifts are they? Yah. Let's see. Which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. By the putting on of my hands. Where is the power today? Why ain't your hands being laid on situations? That's the power. But you don't have it. But you got the Ruach HaKodesh. And sickness from one end of your top of your head to the bottom of your feet. You can't be delivered from lust, alcohol, drugs, and every abomination that hits the face of the earth for Satan's name's sake. You can't do anything because what? Where is thy power today? You don't have it. You never had it. That's why you're on these devil platforms teaching and preaching to those who don't have it either, so they don't know no better. But I, Sister Deborah, a servant of the Most High Yah, a prophetess that's taught from the wilderness level. Since I was 4 years old, did I know him. Did you think I knew feast days? Sabbath? Do you think at that age I knew anything? I knew everything. Because greater at the age of 4 was he that was in me than he that is in the world. And that's why I can stand here and speak as bold as I speak and speak with the light of spirit and truth of the whole matter. That's why. I'm not a child of Satan. I'm the child of the Most High Yah. And I know that I am. And I don't have no problems with that. Is it suffering? Yes, great suffering. It's suffering for me to even get on here and teach y'all this. Wham! Where did you go with that, Sister Deborah? That's the truth of the matter. That's that summing it up. It is great suffering just for me to bring this to you all. That's how suffering it is. It's called endurance. The spirit of endurance. Endure that suffering, Deborah, for my name's sake. Teach that thing for my name's sake. Where is thy power today? Or do you have any? But yet you have the Ruach HaKodesh and don't understand. Wait a minute. That don't talk. You have the Ruach, don't look like the Ruach HaKodesh that the servants of the Most High Yah had. Where's your power? You don't have it because you never had the Ruach. Because the only power can give you the Ruach or take you and usher you to the Ruach's throne is Christ, who is the Father's right hand. He pulls you to his throne. So where are you? At your own throne. At the throne of these men and women, especially these men who run around here tell you they are awakening. They are awakening to stupidity in a midnight dark room, in a dark room with no light, chasing their tails and you chasing them. That's about it. Okay. In 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 6. Wherefore I put thee in remembrance that thou stir up the gift of Yah, which is in thee by the putting on of my hands. Hold up. Wait a minute. So your hand got that power? You mean your hand got that power? You doing right, it does. Where's the power today? You ain't got none. You ain't never had none. That's the deceiving tools you use. And you thought that if you can grab all these books to deceive the people, or if you can precept line, a little here and a little there, or if you can go on these corners, you can master Torah, you know Hebrew and Greek. When you finish, you know nothing. If you don't know who the power is that created the heavens and the earth and everything at the beginning to the end and in between, if you don't know that power, you don't have no power. Okay? Now, I like what Timothy said because it's important for that hand. Sister Deborah have said, I ain't ashamed. You think I'm ashamed? No, I ain't. I used it several times. I know what it can do. I've seen the power. I experienced laying the hand, using the power. So you think I'm just sitting here telling you where is thy power today? If I don't have the power, come on now. Come on. What sense does that make? Why would he call his servant to bring forth such a powerful message to a bunch of people who don't know they left from their right if she don't have the same gift of the power of the Ruach HaKodesh. When he turned me, I was looking for, and I heard, thou shalt have power. And I said, well, wait a minute, you said something before that. I was in the dream. I remember, y'all, I remember something, other things being said in this dream. So when I turned to the side, it says, and thou shalt have power. I said, okay, I got it. It woke me up. When it says, thou shalt have power, I woke up. I said, okay, but what was that other stuff before then? Because I knew it was a message before that. Before that was said, I remember it, you guys. I can't remember what it said, but it was saying something, and then it said, and thou shalt have power. The power, you know what he's talking about. Let me tell y'all what he's talking to his servant about. He said, servant, you in a midnight hour. You in a critical time. Know that power still rests therein. That's all he's saying to me. But I wanted to know what was he saying before then, because I was sleeping good. But I remember something else being said, and at the end it says, and thou shalt receive power. But I remember something was said before then, and I can't remember it when I woke up. Because when he said, and thou shalt receive power, bam, I woke up. And I'm saying, wait a minute, wait a minute, hold up. What was said before? Maybe he will, if it be his will, bring it back to my remembrance of what was in that dream before he said to me, and thou shalt receive power. So the Father know that without a doubt, I know. That's why I can come to you so bold and so blunt and tell you about this power. Where is the power today? I can say that. Okay, now here in 2 Timothy chapter 1, and let's go to verse 7. For Yah has not given us the spirit of fear. Bam. The spirit. Okay. If somebody come to your door right now and put a gun in front of your face, won't your flesh be feared? Yes. But Yah said spirit. That means your spirit is not created by him to be feared. He haven't given you this right here. Didn't I tell you it was a brand? See, y'all don't believe it. This is a brand that y'all put in your spirit. And he said, what does it say? Corinthians chapter 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. And Yah has not given us the spirit of what? Fear. Didn't I tell you that? Hey, boy, this is so deep to me. It just seems so hard to be speaking it because I almost feel like it's bouncing off the wall. And what he's saying is this. He didn't give us. Who is us? Look at that word, give in. Give in. Us, the spirit of fear. He's letting you know those who are of his spirit, that gift brand that I branded your spirit with, it's not supposed to fear, Deborah. Tell them. It's not supposed to fear, and it's not fearful. But what happens in verse 7? But the power of give and gave, and of a sound mind. We're supposed to have that power in our spirits, you guys, and a sound mind. And a sound mind. And give and gave. And of a sound mind. That sound mind is spiritual, you guys. You see, everybody been playing church. Everybody's playing holy than thou. Everybody's playing righteous. Everybody's playing just. Everybody's playing, oh, I'm faithful. Everybody's playing, oh, I'm righteous. Everybody's playing like, oh, I believe. Baby, that's for Satan. Yah has branded his already. It's not something you have to say. It's something that you're going to have to know that you know, because he has to let you know you are branded for my name's sake. You're branded by these here titles. And I like right here where it says the spirit of fear, because he ain't talking about your flesh not going to be fear, because our flesh going to be fear about everything on the earth. But he let you know you got a spirit, Deborah. Tell him. The spirit that I've given you, I've also branded with the spirit. It is not a fear that you fear. So therefore, his is branded with fear, a spiritual fear that you are not. He didn't give us a spirit of fear in the flesh. He gave us a spiritual fear. He said, but no, let me say that right. For Yah has not given us the spirit of fear. So we're not supposed to fear the things that the world is putting down right now and pulling up. Why? Because we have the spirit of fear, which is greater than the fear that is in the flesh. He's not saying you're not going to be afraid somebody come up on you and do something to you. Somebody get ready to hit you. You're going to natural by natural, you're going to be fear. But he said, I have overcome all things. My spirit that I have given you don't have to worry about being fearful or fear, because it's branded in you. So no matter what they do on this earth, don't get bent up and bent down. But I forgot, where is our power? You might not have it. So you might not have the spirit of fear. Now, in verse 8, 2 Timothy chapter 1 and verse 8, be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of our Lord, nor of me, his prisoner. Don't be ashamed of us. Don't be ashamed of Yeshua, and don't be ashamed of me, because I'm Yeshua's prisoner. But be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel, according to the what? The power. According to the what? The power. You mean the gospel is the power of Yah? Yes. I'm sorry they haven't told you all that. I'm very sorry that you never knew that the gospel was the power of Yah. It's his right hand that has worked any and everything since the beginning. And we're running around here giving glory and honor to these men. They're teaching you a bunch of trash, because what? Where is their power? Can't be seen. Today, you ain't gonna find it, because they don't have none. But you living on their wisdom, their knowledge, and their understanding. And none of that have any power. Okay. Now, and I like that, because in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 8 says, be not thou therefore ashamed of the testimony of Yeshua, nor of his prisoner, which is him, Timothy, but be thou partaker of the afflictions of the gospel, according to the power of Yah. Now, when I hear this, this is comfort. I just picked up some comfort from Yah. I just picked up some comfort from Yah to Sister Deborah. I just picked up some comfort from Yah to Sister Deborah. And here it is. Here's the comforter. He's telling me this as I'm teaching it to you, as I'm speaking it to you, as I'm revealing it to you. He says, be thou partaker of the affliction of the gospel, according to the power of Yah. That means speaking spirit and truth is what you call suffering and afflicted. I just told y'all how I feel like I'm teaching to the brick wall. I feel saddened because it seems like the message itself is just overly powerful to me, even me speaking it. And he said, don't be afflicted of the gospel according to the power of Yah. So don't let yourself be afflicted because you're preaching the gospel. You're preaching about the power, Deborah, of Yah. So don't afflict yourself. Don't feel ashamed. Don't feel useless and worthless, because you are preaching according to the power of Yah. Where is thy power today. This is a message where many shouldn't even be listening to unless you fall into that narrow gate, unless you know spirit and truth, because this is a powerful message. And long as I know that it is, it doesn't matter who else think that it is, because I know where the power is coming from in this message. So when I go to Romans chapter 1, verse 16 and verse 17, when I go to Romans chapter 1, verse 16 and 17, okay, we was there already. We were there. We're going to go there again because it's bringing up 17. We went to 16, but we didn't follow. I didn't follow this here, but I'm going back to Romans chapter 16 and 17, and I want to show you something. Romans chapter 1, verse 16 and 17. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of Yah unto salvation to everyone that believeth, to the Jews first and also to the Greeks. Here it is, y'all. Here go the power punch. Verse 17. For therein is, bam! For therein the righteousness of Yah revealed from what? Faith to faith, as it is written in the heavens already. You don't have to justify and clarify nothing or identify nothing to the flesh of no man, no woman. In heaven it is written that the just shall live by faith. The righteous shall live by faith. What are you living by? And what does it say? For therein is righteousness of Yah. You got to be branded, baby. They didn't teach y'all that, did they? I know. They told you can get the Ruach HaKodesh whenever you want. You don't have to follow this. You don't have to do this. You don't have to have this. Just get it and say you got what it. Name it and claim it. That's what they got y'all believing, don't you? Name it and claim it, and people walking around in here thinking they holier than thou. Okay. Now, what happens now is very dangerous. And we go into Matthew's chapter 24. Now, this is where it gets dangerous. In Matthew's chapter 24, verse 14. And he had to get on me about this verse. And it was about probably 2.5 years he had to step into me about this, because I asked him, silly Deborah, in the wilderness, I'd be all like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. That's all day long, y'all. I want to know. And here in Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 14, it says, and the gospel of the kingdom. What did I tell y'all? The gospel of the kingdom is the what? The power. The gospel of the kingdom. But let's bump it up to verse 13. Matthew's chapter 24 and verse 13. But he that shall endure until the end, the same shall be saved. He shall be saved. Now let's get to 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all the nation. What is this deal? What are you talking about, Father? The gospel, when you understand what the gospel is, then you can connect the gospel to the power. Come on, let's do that. And the power of the kingdom. Hallelujah. Exactly what Yeshua came down with. All power in his hand. And he said, Matthew 24, verse 14, and this gospel of the kingdom, meaning the power of Yah, shall be preached in all the world for a what? Preached? What you would think it would be heard. No, he's letting you know, my power coming up. It's going to show up and show out as a witness. Look at it. Preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come. Y'all gonna show up and show out with what? That power. While y'all running around here, Sister Deborah trying to get y'all to understand, where is thy power today? Or do you know? Or can you find it? You know where it's at? Is it in the closet in your room? Is it at your workplace? Oh no, it's in your garden. Or it's in your garage. Oh, it's out in the weed, not the weeds. Out in the woods somewhere with you, right? Uh-huh. See, that's what I was saying to y'all. You can sit and prepare yourself for everything. But where is your power? Where is that power? Say, for instance, if you out in the woods. Now let's use Sister Deborah. Let's go back to that first. In Matthew 24, verse 14, it says, the gospel of the kingdom. That means the power of Yah shall be preached. So you're gonna hear people talking about, oh, y'all, did y'all see that? Did you see this here happening? This is happening. This is happening. Preached in all the world, all over the world. They're gonna be what? Seeing his what? His power. And they're gonna witness it. There it is. A witness unto the whole world. The world gonna see my Father's power for what it is. Praise the mighty Yah. To all nation, and Deborah tell them, then shall the end come. See? That's it. But I'm gonna show my power, Deborah. They thinking I'm playing. They think I'm gonna stand here and look high, be high and look low. They don't even understand. I can look low and look high, look low and look side, look low and look high, look low. I can look any and every way and see it all. So he's saying that his power is going to show up and show out. Ooh, Yeshua, you sure told them. And then Yeshua say, when you see my Father's power coming up, showing up and showing out, and it's going to be a witness to y'all going to run here and teach this. Oh, I saw the power, preaching it all over the place. And then you're going to see it for what it is. And then the end. Okay? So that's a really good one. That's Matthew chapter 24 and verse 14. That's showing you that man is not going to be in control of everything. They never was, and they not now. If they ain't got the power, how are they in control of anything? Okay, let's get Deborah. Let's say, for instance, Deborah's out, and she got 4 acres of land. And she takes herself out, take her a cover, lay it down, and lay there. And that enough cover to keep warm, doing a comfy, during the midnight hour or whatever. I'm out there, right? Okay, so I'm out there. Do you know, with the power, with that power alone, even the snakes has to turn away. See, that's what people don't understand what the power is. Ooh, Father Yah. That's what that power, just being out there with that power. Let me tell you. So if he's asking you that today, where is thy power today? That should tell you really where you stand. That should tell you where you stand. And when Sister Deborah taught this over and over and over and over, and even speaking of it now, righteous belief and faith and fear, if this is not branded in you, you are not of Yah. So you can run around here and say, I got the Ruach HaKodesh. I got the Holy Spirit. I got the Spirit of the Most High Yah. You can say whatever you want. If these ain't branded in you, guess what? You ain't got nothing but Satan embedded in you, giving you the fake righteous of your flesh, and the fake belief of your flesh, and the fake faith of your flesh, and the fake fear of your flesh. You ain't got nothing. Where is thy power today? Okay, so that's the example. If I got 4 acres and I'm out there, it's nothing would harm me or bother me, because I can use that power against any and everything. That's what I'm trying to get you all to see. This power is what he said it is. It's not what we want to think it is and make ourselves think it is. It's what Yah said that it is, and it is. And it ain't gonna be nothing but what he said. And all you have to do is go back and pick your own verses, and you'll see. That's why do you all think that from Genesis to, let's say, to Revelation, let's start from Genesis 1 all the way to Revelation let's just say Revelation 1, 2, and 3, and you pull up the right hand or the hand or the stretched out arm, guess what that was, y'all? The power. That's what the power was all the time. All these years. Been cutting up from the floor up and ain't nobody seen it. Let's go over here to Nebuchadnezzar. They want to talk like they know something. They're awakened. Let's go over here to Nebuchadnezzar. How is it he knew? How is it he knew? Let me show you a little something. When the Hebrew boys were put into the fire furnace, how did they get up in there? How did they even get up in the fire furnace? When the men that were taking them had died. They had died because it was too hot. So how did they get up in the fire furnace? Come on now. If those that put them in died before they could get up on it, it had killed them already. So how did the three Hebrew boys get in? How did the door get closed and turned? Nebuchadnezzar stood back and said, hold up, y'all, hold up. Then we put 3. But why do it looks like 4? That looks like. You know what Nebuchadnezzar is talking about? He said, that looks like. Not Yeshua, the Son of Man. He said the Son of Yah. See, y'all didn't know the Son of Yah always exists. His destiny was ordained to support the Lamb. Before the foundation of the world, Yah had already taken a hold of his only begotten, which is his right hand, to come down with the Lamb, to complete the sacrifice of the Lamb. And that's why Nebuchadnezzar looked into the fire furnace and then we put 3, but wait a minute, I see another one up in there. What did he mean? That looks like the Son of Yah. What is Nebuchadnezzar saying? Wait a minute, who is this one you said that looked like the Son? You ain't nobody never saw the Son. So what are you talking about? He said, Deborah, tell those people it was the power I was seeing that was keeping the the Hebrew boys from burning. It was the power of God. That's what I'm talking about. I know that's what you're talking about, but I don't know if they get it. I know what you're saying, Nebuchadnezzar, but I don't know if they can get it. The Father's right hand power always exists. It was there before the foundation of the world. It was a sign to come down with the sacrifice of the Lamb to complete the mission of the Father. That's why Nebuchadnezzar was saying, didn't we put 3? Hold up, something keeping them from being burned. That got to be the Son of Yah. That means Christ. That means Hamashiach. That means the right hand power of Yah. That's what he's talking about. He was basing it on what he was seeing. You know, he never saw Yah. He said, it looks like the Son of Yah. We know he never saw Yah. No man have seen Yah. So what can we see? His power. And that's another thing. When I first got on to YouTube, I was trying to explain to people that his power. You remember Jacob when he was wrestling with his own mind, but what they said, wrestling with the angel. You know what made Abraham? You know what got to Jacob when he said, "I've seen him face to face." You know what Jacob was saying? Y'all don't get it. Y'all don't get it. Jacob was actually saying that I seen the work of the Father's power. Now I have seen him face to face. I remember when I first got on here, I was trying to explain to people, y'all's power is him. When you have experienced his power, you have seen him face to face. Why? In Genesis chapter 1, let's go there. Were you there? Were you there? No, you weren't there. You weren't there. The only one can take you there is his spirit to get you to understand. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 21. No, 26. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. And Yah said, let us. That's the power, y'all, that has been forsaken since the beginning of time. That's the same power that caused Jacob to say, I've seen him face to face. Sister Deborah, when I came on, I tried to explain to you all that I've seen the power. I know the power. I've used the power. To see his power is to know his power, to have used his power. And when Jacob was wrestling, he needed a blessing, not tomorrow, not a week from now. He needed a blessing right now because Esau was on his back. And when he seen Yah dealing with him throughout that night and wrestling, because he needed a blessing from Yah, because Esau was on his tail. He said, wait a minute, hold up, y'all. I've seen him face to face. You're doing right, Jacob. I'm with you. I'm with you, Jacob. I've seen him face to face, but you can't tell these people that because they never seen him. They claim they know him, but they know nothing about him. He said they deny the power they're in. And they don't get that either because you've been denying. You claim you know him. You claim you have him. You claim you live with him. You deal with him. You got this. But you have no power. Where is our power today? Or do you know? Is it in your refrigerator? Is it at the laundromat? Is it at the grocery store? Where is your power? Jacob? I get Jacob. And I always did because I used that as one of my verses to when I was teaching seeing the power. It's when you see his miracle and his wonders. And when we tell you how cuckoo clock Sister Deborah is, when I go out and I see stuff, I go out here and I look up in the sky. I don't see nothing but his power. How could you have created something like that? Even when I see the trees, y'all, I look at, ooh, you got some mighty power. When we're able to recognize the creation of the Father right hand, we have seen his power. But we don't see it like that. We think he hang high or swing low at our mentality. Stop seeing the Father to be like unto a flesh of a nasty, stinking man. Because he is not. We got to see him for who he is, who he was, and who he's going to be, whether we like it or not. Now, let me see where I'm at. Okay, I got it. Oh, my Father. Yeah! I'm going to go on to Luke. In the book of Luke, verse 24. In the book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 46 through 49. In the book of Luke, chapter 24, verse 46 and 49. Yeshua is speaking here. And let's hear what he has to say. And said unto them, thus it is written. I love it when it say it is written. Why? It reminds me of what I was taught as a little girl. Before the heavens and earth was created, all things was finished. And everything was written. So that when everything is plainly seen, you can't give it to the glory and the credit to man. You can just embrace it as something that is in the spirit of our Creator, the Father. And it reads in 46, verse 46, Luke 24 and verse 46. And he said unto them, thus it is written, and thus it behooved Christ to suffer and to rise to raise from the dead on the third day. It behooved Christ. What happened to Yeshua? Hold up. Hold up. Yeshua is speaking. This is written, and thus it behooved Christ to suffer. See, he's talking about the power. Because he's the Son of Man speaking this. The power suffered to raise from the dead on the third day. Why? Because the power had to go into the grave, sit there 3 days for the Son of Man, with the Son of Man, and bring him up with all power. You see? Christ had to do that. Verse 47. And that repentance of remission of sins shall be preached in his name among nations, beginning at Jerusalem. What did that mean? I like that too, y'all. Matter of fact, I like that. I'm going to read that over again. Luke chapter 24 and verse 47. And that repentance and remissions of sins shall be preached in his name among all nations, being at Jerusalem. Why? We have forsaken the power. We have to recognize that is the one that risen, the Son of Man. That was the power. It should have been preached, y'all. It should. I'm sorry, but it should have been, but it wasn't. You hear them talk about repentance and the remission of the sin should be preached in his name among all nations. Why? Why must this be preached in his name among all the nations, beginning at Jerusalem? Beginning at Jerusalem. Why? It was the power of your Father. And we missed it, like we missed it today, the year 2023. We miss the power. We still today have not recognized that he was the power that risen the Son of Man up. And in his name, we have to include the sacrifice, which is who? For the remission of sin, Yeshua HaMashiach, Yeshua. But we have to recognize the power that carried the mission to its fullness. And here today, we still have not. First, in Jerusalem, that means the so-called fake Jews and the so-called we the people, we the children, they still don't know. They don't know the difference between the Son of Man and the Son of Yah. They don't know the difference, y'all. It's nothing in them. They can't identify. They can't, it's not in them. Where is thy power today? It's not in them. So all this running around here, it matches. One thing I can tell you, it definitely matches. Well, so everything Sister Deborah is saying, it matched to the T, the narrow gate. It matches to the T. That's why that gate is narrow. Because the way, very few shall find their end. That's why. Because everything been denied. And here, his name among all nations, beginning at Jerusalem, should have been recognized as the power of Yah with the Son of Man. And it has not. That's, again, denying the power therein. But the Father told me that, Deborah, if they missed it in Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, they'd have missed the whole thing. And I believe that. Because you would have to miss all the scenes and everything that ever took place from even the day of Noah to the city of Lot to Jeremiah, Ezekiel, all the way from Genesis to Revelation. If you missed the power. Verse 48, and ye are witnesses of these things. And that's going back to the power. How can you be a witness for the Most High Yah? When have you witnessed the power? You don't even know who the power is. So how can you be a witness to the power, which you don't even know who the power is? Okay. Verse 49. And uphold I send the promise of my Father upon you. Uphold. No. And behold. That means, look, I send the promise of my Father upon you. But tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem until ye be indulged with the what? The power from on high. Praise the mighty God. Look how beautiful Yeshua did that. Look how beautiful he did that. Let's read that again. Luke chapter 24 and verse 49. Look how beautiful Yeshua said that. He said, and behold, that means look, I send the promise of my Father. My Father promised me, and I send the promise of my Father upon you. But tarry ye in the city of Jerusalem until ye have endowed with what? See, you think I'm playing when I say, where is thy power today? Yeshua told them, tarry in Jerusalem for the what? Wait there until the Father, my Father. Wait for my Father. Wait a minute, Yeshua, why you can't give it to him? Wait for my Father, Deborah. Why? Wait a minute, Yeshua, I thought you had the power. Wait, Deborah, for my Father. Yeshua! You did an excellent job. You did a wonderful job. You did a perfect job. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for allowing me to understand your mission till its fullness. So I understand Yeshua. He's telling them the place to wait until my Father power come from on high. Wait a minute, hold up, Yeshua. Don't you got the power? But Deborah, they got to know my Father's power, because I know it ain't my power. I'm the Son of Man born of a woman. He's the Son of Yah. He is the power. So that's where we at today. Still going to and fro. Where is thy power? So when you get to Acts, you get over here to Acts. And in the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 7 and 8. When you get to the book of Acts, chapter 1, verse 7 and 8. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the time or the season, which the Father hath put in his what? Hold on. In his what, Yeshua? Wait a minute, Yeshua. Didn't he give you power, Yeshua? But Deborah, tell them right. Okay. Acts chapter 1, verse 7. And he said unto them, it is not for you to know the times and the season, which the Father has put in his own power. In his own power. Isn't it sad how this Father got all this great, loving, kindness, perfect, excellent power, and we know it not, even though the power of grace and mercy is being poured out on us 24/24. Even when we sleep, grace and mercy is still pouring out on us. That's the power of who? The Father. Okay? A lot of people don't understand that, because they're saying that baby Yotel wouldn't even wake up without that grace and mercy. See how crazy people are? Still pouring out, making sure ain't nobody bothering you. Look, I put this, pour out this grace and mercy. Oh yeah, you can mess with this one, but grace and mercy is on this one here. It's on you too, so you won't go mess with this one. Everything I got orchestrated. I poured grace and mercy on top of it, and everything Satan is doing, I poured grace and mercy on it. How you like, man? Now that's my power, not yours. I can do that, said the Most High Yah. Okay, now verse 8, Acts chapter 1 and verse 8. But ye shall receive power after that the Holy Spirit is come upon you. And ye shall be witness unto me both in Jerusalem and all Judean and Samarian in Samarian and unto the uttermost parts of the earth. Wait a minute. That's after. How you a witness? They can't see your power. You ain't got no power to show nobody. But you're supposed to be that person that represents that power. Where's your power at? Wait a minute, hold up. Where is thy power today? But you're supposed to be representing the Ruach HaKodesh. But where is your power? Said the Most High Yah. Where's your power? Okay? That's what I'm talking about. You don't know where it's at. Can't find it, can you? Because we have denied it purposely, intentionally, and proclaimed that we are the representative of the Ruach HaKodesh. But we show no power. There's no one can witness any power. Nobody. I don't know if I told you what my little brother did. I told you I had that really scary vision of him, and it's there. It's no, it's gonna be what I saw. But he said, I called him in California and said, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" He said, "I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it." I can remember when I was, I think he said 6. I think he said 6 years old or 8, either 6 or 8, one of them. And mama, he said my mother whooped him. But I don't remember that. He said, and I never knew that. I never knew that my mother took everything I said to her about what would happen that serious until my little brother 2 months ago told me that he got a whooping because I told mama that something was going to happen to him. And she asked him, she told me he had to get in at a certain time because Booby said that something was going to happen or something was going to go on. And he said that mama whooped him because he didn't get in the time she told him and told him, "I told you." She said that something was supposed might happen or something like that. And I believe he was saying that something had happened, but he didn't tell mama because she whooped him when he got it. When he got in the door, that's probably what's going to happen. Did you go get your butt whooped? And I had no idea that he still today can remember it. You know, it does a lot for me because it makes me realize they knew who I was. That's what it was. They knew who I was, you know. And I never knew that my mother took it. I was just a little girl. But so much for that. But he told me that 2 months ago. But we laughed about it and everything. And I told him, but what I saw, I want you to be careful, is he know I don't play. They know who I am. So here in verse Acts chapter 1 and verse 8, but ye shall receive power after that the holy, the Ruach HaKodesh is come upon you. So if you sit and you tackle with what Sister Deborah is saying, that shows you are lost without a cause. Because here it is, Yeshua telling you the same darn thing. Where is thy power? You got the Ruach HaKodesh. I said, when the Ruach HaKodesh come upon you, and ye shall be a witness unto both me, witness unto me, both in Jerusalem and in Judean and in Samaria, and unto the uppermost part of the earth. But it says what? The beginning, but ye shall receive power. You see, that means that you can't witness regarding Yeshua HaMashiach because you haven't gotten the power to be a witness. And that's what I was trying to explain to people. In the beginning was the power. It was connected to the word, which the word was Yah. You can't do away with the power. It's not going nowhere. It is the Father's right hand and his stretched out arm. Always was and always is. You go back to Google and you put arm in the Bible, you pull up all Yah's arm. You say, well, why haven't no one ever taught it? Because they didn't want to reveal the power. They didn't know nothing about the power. That's why. They never knew anything about the power. Go on back. Look up Google and put right arm, or just put arm, ARM. Don't put an S. A-R-M in the Bible. And when you see how many times it's in there, it's going to blow your mind. And don't hook up and then put right on. Oh, it'll mess you up. Then put stretched out, not right on right hand. It'll mess you up. Then you throw in the right arm or not the right arm, the stretched out arm. Oh, it's going to make you lost. You're going to say, you mean to tell me, Sister Deborah, our Father in the heavens, power rests in his right hand, and they have not taught us or revealed to us or spoken anything regarding this right hand? It has truly been denied. That's why he said in Genesis chapter 1, verse 26, if they didn't know who us was, they don't know who he is in the year of 2023. But yet they awaken. We the people, we have awakened. They doing movies and film with no power. Woo, Father God. They doing feast days, Passover. They upholding Torah with no power. They telling you how to dress, how to wear your hair, what to eat, how to walk, how to talk, how to be submissive to the flesh of a man, but have no power. Where is thy power today? You never had it. That's why the broad gate is so broad. Because with no power, but of the wickedness and evil and darkness have you taken many to the broad gate and left them there to go get more. And guess what? The people waited still yet today at the broad gate, saying we know the way. Okay. So here go Yeshua. I like that because he's also showing you that when the power received, ye shall receive power after that, the Holy Spirit. See, what people didn't know. Let me give you an example. Say this is how would I say it? This is Yeshua. And just say this is Hamashiach. Okay. Once you have understood the mission, then the power, which is Hamashiach, take you to Yah and present you. You see? Because that's Yah's power, bringing you to his bosom so he can inject you with his Ruach HaKodesh. You see what I'm saying? That's what that's about. And guess what, you guys? Yeshua always told us that, and we still didn't want to hear it. Isn't that sad? That is straight up sad. That is sad. It's really sad. In the book of Acts, chapter 6, verse 7 through 10. In the book of Acts, chapter 6, verse 7 through 10. And the word of Yah increased, and the number of the disciples multiplied in Jerusalem greatly. And a great company of priests were obedient to the faith. You see that? Obedient to the faith. A great number of priests were obedient to the faith. Now, what was they obedient to? The faith, which is what? They were branded already to the brand. Okay. Now, verse 8. We in Acts chapter 6. Now we on verse 8. Listen to this. And Stephen, full of faith. What was Stephen full of? One of the brands, faith. And what else was he was full of? And power. Did great wonders and miracles among the people. How did Stephen get that ability to have that? Because he was full of faith. That's spiritual faith, y'all. and full of the power, did great wonders and miracles among the people. Verse 9, then there arose a certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of Libertines, and Cyrenius, and Alexandra, and of them of Cilicia of Asia. There go Asia. You see that? Disputed with Stephen. Now, this is over in Asia. They disputed with this man of Yah, who was what? Full of faith and what? Full of power. They the one took him out. They was over in Asia. See, y'all don't really get what Sister Deborah was telling y'all in the book of Revelation. Be careful with thinking that they are the people of Yah over there. Yah is going to the four corners. He's getting what's his. Okay? And don't think he's going to an area and all he is over in that area the way they got it set up in Revelation chapter 1, 2, and 3. Not over in that area. Okay? Now, they went after him. You know, they stoned him. I think you all know that. And they were not able to resist the wisdom and the spirit by which he spoke. They weren't able to. This is why I tell you all, when you hear your brother, when I hear of my brothers and how they died, because they're telling the people exactly what Sister Deborah telling you all. Exactly what Sister Deborah telling you all. That's what they were telling the people. Look at Stephen. He was full of faith, full of power. He could have killed them with the power he was full of. But it wasn't Yah's will that he used it to destroy them, but that they destroyed him because they couldn't stand the wisdom of the spirit that he had and he was putting out. So what did they do? They stoned him. And he looked up while they were stoning him. Just imagine all that pain. Forgive them, for they know not. And that is so true. They stoned him. What did he do? Just giving them the gospel, which is the power. You see why no one today have the power? Because to have the power, it would be, or to have the everything that Yah has consists of the power. People be out after you to kill you. And that's another feeling that I say when I'm on here teaching at this capacity, this sort of a lesson. It feels like you're talking to the brick wall because you know it's so powerful. Who can withstand it? Because my brothers got killed. I'm a prophetess, they're a prophet. Stephen was a prophet. They killed him, stoned him. Oh, he didn't do nothing but what? Wait a minute, hold up, Father, y'all, hold up. What did Stephen do in front of them? In verse 8, and Stephen was full of faith and power and did what? Great wonders. And did what? Great miracles among the people. He was out there showing them miracles and wonders. No matter what Sister Deborah, that's why I try to explain to y'all, no matter what Sister Deborah say, how she preach, how she teach, how she speaks spirit and truth, how she showed the light. Y'all sit and told me, it don't matter, Deborah. Keep walking in that lane that I created for you. It's running you to the narrow gate. Because you can sit here all day and night. I can sit here for millions of years speaking spirit and truth, and it ain't gonna be worth anything. It won't be worth anything. Look at how all of these prophets left up out of here because they were saying exactly what Sister Deborah is saying now. I tell you the truth and you hate me. That's all truth is worth to most people, is to hate the one that tells you and show you and reveal truth. So I got to hate her. Why would you think that there's no one in the live chat? Because this is a sort of message many wouldn't even want to hear. That's where he shows me. People don't understand. It identify people. And they so far out in the ocean that they think that Yah hasn't schooled his. Oh, Father, I've been in the wilderness too long with my father to not know what's going on. And this is what you see. So with that being said, okay, I got one more. And that is Acts chapter 10. And I like that. Stephen lost his life telling you exactly what I'm saying to you right now. Isn't that sad? But it's sad, but it's something that's worth his mission, because it shows you Yah has never forsaken anyone. He always had a stretched out arm and a right hand. Always had it. And because people did not take it, like today, where is thy power today? It's because no one never reached out that right hand and accepted that power. And this is what you see today. They will reach out for all this murdering spirits. I sat back this morning and turned on the TV, and there's so many of us killing like crazy. And none of us see it. Honestly, I ain't gonna tell you what I think as far as what I think that needs to be done, because I know my Father's will is still walking itself up and down, and it's almost over. So in Acts chapter 10 and verse 38 and 40, it reads, Acts chapter 10 and verse 38 through 40. Now Yah anointed Yeshua of Nazareth with the Ruach HaKodesh. Who did that? Who did that? Who did that? Now listen to what it's saying. How Yah anointed Yeshua. So how could Yeshua be Yah if Yah anointed him? Now watch this here. How, Acts chapter 10, how Yah anointed Yeshua of Nazareth with the Ruach HaKodesh and what? With power. You see that? This is what Yah gave him to complete the mission as the Son of Man, born of a woman. He gave him the Ruach HaKodesh and the power. So that shows you right there. You notice up here in Acts chapter 10, 38, it says how Yah anointed Yeshua. You don't see Hamashiach, do you? Because Yah is Hamashiach. His power, okay, anointed Yeshua of Nazareth with the Ruach HaKodesh, and he was given the power. That's the Son of Yah. That is Hamashiach. Okay, who went about doing good and healing all that were oppressed of the devil. For Yah was with him. Who with who? Go up with Yeshua. Yah was with him. How was Yah with Yeshua? Through the Son of Yah, which is Hamashiach. Okay, that is Yah's right hand. His right hand was with Yeshua, and that's how you get Yeshua Hamashiach. That's what they denied. That's been denied since Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26. The power of who Yah is. It's been denied even to today, year 2023. And it says, for Yah was with him. What has happened? The churches and everybody been lying. And because of that, the lie still extend to the year of 2023. So this is why he had prophesied that the gate that leads to life is narrow. And it's a location where very few shall find. Why? Because only he that he has branded for a time as this shall find the narrow gate. Okay. Now, verse 39. And we are witness of all things which he did, both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hung on the tree. on a tree. Him Yah raised up on the third day and showed him openly. Now, I want y'all to go to Acts chapter 10 and verse 40, where I'm at now. This is why I say to you all that I feel really bad about teaching it, but I think it's when it's over, y'all going to speak to my spirit. I know he is. He's going to have to, because this message, Acts chapter 10, verse 40. That's still where I'm at. I went through Acts 38 through 40. Now I'm at the verse 40. Listen to this. Him. Who is him? Yeshua. Him, Yeshua. When it says in 40, him, Yah raised up on the third day and showed him openly. Do you see where him didn't get up on his own? Wait a minute. Why didn't Yeshua get up on his own? Because he couldn't. Why? Because Yah is the power that raised the dead. And even Yeshua need to be raised by the right hand of my Father, called Hamashiach, the Son of Yah. So there it go again. Acts 10 and verse 40. Him, Yeshua, Yah raised up the third day. Yeshua didn't raise himself up. Hamashiach did. That's Yah's right hand. That's his power. So much for that. Before the foundation of the world, before anything was created, before heaven and earth was created, okay, Yah is all power. He took an angel and he made him a lamb for the mission of the sacrifice of all of us. Before he even created anybody, he already knew he needed a lamb to redeem us right back. Because he already saw. You see how powerful and beautiful this creator is. He created everything before it was. He knew it. So what did he do? He said, Deborah, tell them, before the foundation of the world, Yeshua was an angel. He was made an angel a little lower than the other angel for the sacrifice of all mankind. But he had to do the sacrifice in heaven. So the lamb was slaughtered before the foundation of the world. Why? So everything will be finished before it started in the bosom of Yah. Why is it everything have to be come down here to our nasty tears? No, everything was finished in the heavens before it came to the earth. So he wants me to let you all know that heavens had orchestrated the beginning to the end and everything in between. So Yeshua was the Son of Man. He was to come. He first was an angel. And then he was given the title as the lamb slaughtered before the foundation of the world. But he needed to he could not uphold the mission as the Son of Man, as an angel. He couldn't do it, y'all. He couldn't do it. So Yah says, I tell you what, I have all power in the heavens and on the earth. I'm going to bring you down, but I'm going to bring you down with all of my power. And I'm going to let my power be there for you. I'm going to let you carry my word down. And I'm going to give you my power to show miracles and signs and wonders, to see this thing through. So Yeshua was an angel assigned to a mission, made lower than the other angels, for the mission of a sacrificed lamb for the sin and remission of all mankind. This was before the heavens and earth was created. And in that also was present, was a book was drawn up. There were two books, one for the lamb and the other was for the goats, those who will not. So those that were for the lamb was written in the Lamb book of life. The lamb had been slaughtered, and Yah made sure that everybody that he sent down, that's a part of, that's written in the Lamb book of life, come down with this. The Gentiles came down under the Lamb as well, but they came down under these two. The house of Israel, the Gentiles came down under this belief and faith. The house of Israel came down under these, all of them, the brands. This is what they had in them. And then they were marked in the Lamb book of life. And those who come down to represent Satan, the angels that were brought down that would represent Satan, they was put in a separate book. But I want to show y'all the power of who my Father is. Don't think for no, not even a second, or split of a second, that all that power is not in his hand. Because it was in his hand from the beginning, y'all. Before heaven and earth was even created. Everything that is, that was, has already been. It was finished before it was finished on the earth. So when y'all see he said he's going to rest, let me tell y'all something. He is all power. You didn't grip the word rest. Because he himself don't need no rest. So what was he saying to your nasty flesh? He was telling you something. You still missed it. You're still missing it today. So he wants you to know, in the heavens was all things orchestrated. Yeshua is coming down, and I'm only going to use a seed of a woman. I don't want a nasty man seed. I don't want a nasty man sperm. I want a woman to birth the son of Yah. That woman is going to birth this angel with her own seed, because I'm going to give it to her. I don't need Joseph's seed. I don't need David. That's why David said, Yeshua, I covered that. When Yeshua said that to them, how can David be? He was correcting that, which I'll get back to that. But he said, so he got the angel scheduled for the sacrifice in the heavens. He had already cleared that up. And he himself was coming down. His only beloved. What is your only beloved? Your only right hand. Your only right hand. That was Yah's power. Is coming down with this Son of Man to help him with the power and the word. So he can complete my mission as the Father. He's going to have my power to do that. And Yah wants you to understand his power was, is, and always been. He gave us a taste of his power when he kept saying let. He was telling something, let. My power. I spoke it, my power, let. Then when I got to Genesis chapter 1 and verse 26, I revealed myself. I revealed my power. In verse 26 and 27, and you missed it then and you miss it now. I revealed my power. I have given to my prophets, my servants, to warn you all that I am the right hand, the stretched out arm, that been present since the beginning of time. That's my power been revealed. And you missed it even to today, 2023. I called my power, my only begotten, which came down in spirit and word and power to help support the Son of Man, born of a woman. So I called the Son of Man Yeshua. And the son of Yah I call my power, Hamashiach. The world calls Christ. And this is where we at today. Lost without a cause. Still yet going to and fro. Thinking we got everything nailed. Thinking we got everything nailed to the wall. And this is the last verse. And let me show you how Yeshua did another excellent. Yeshua did a wonderful, excellent thing right here. Let's go to Luke chapter 20. Watch this here, you all. Watch this here. Luke chapter 20. You know what? A lot of people says in this day and time, because they're listening to a lot of these Gentiles and these heathens studies for years ago, bringing them back, telling them, don't listen to Paul, don't do this. But you know what? According for the Gentiles to be grafted in, y'all had to have somebody to give them the gospel so it can fit the picture of them being grafted in the heavens. It has to be revealed on the earth. So somebody had to go out into the Gentiles. So you see how sick their mindset is about Paul. Okay, when I go to Luke chapter 20 and verse 41 through 44. Now listen to this, you all. And I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to leave you right here because I think even this verse here carries a lot of anointing. In Luke chapter 20. No, after this one is also Psalms 110, verse 1 to 3, that bumps off of Luke chapter 20, verse 41 through 44. Let's go for Luke chapter 20, verse 41. And he said unto them, how say that they that Christ is David's son? Notice he's asking a question. Who's asking it? Yeshua. He's asking him a question. And he said, how say they that Christ is David's son? How are they saying Christ is David's son? Now, Yeshua know Christ is the power of Yah. He's just trying to understand, how are they saying that Christ is David's son? Watch this here. Verse 42. And David himself said in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord, you see lowercase Lord, uppercase Lord, sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemy thy footstool. Verse 44. David therefore called him Lord. How is he then his son? You see, Yeshua is telling them in Luke, y'all bent up and y'all are bent down. How can this be? Because, see, Yeshua is saying, like Sister Deborah sitting here trying to teach this lesson. That's what I'm feeling. I feel Yeshua trying to say, well, wait a minute, y'all totally off the rocker. Yeshua said in 41, Luke 20 and 41, and Yeshua said to them, how say that Christ is David's son? You see how messed up these men are? Do y'all see how messed up these men mind? Do y'all see this stiff-necked rebellion and disobedient whoremongers? Male men are. This is what Yeshua is saying. He's saying this to a bunch of women. He's talking about, how can they say that Christ is David's son? How can Yah's power be David's son, period? Because they don't know. Year 2023. Where is thy power today? You have none. You haven't been given none. That's how lost this here is. Here Yeshua saying the same thing. Y'all lost. Y'all bent to say Christ is David's son. Christ is the power that came down with me. How can that be David's son? David don't have no son. That's why. David has a spiritual bloodline. You see? That is what Yeshua came down here as a spiritual bloodline. Who is the spiritual bloodline? Here they go. They got this. See how we messed up from the floor up? Okay, now watch this here. And Yeshua said in 42. And David said, and David himself said in the book of Psalms, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit, which is the lowercase Lord, said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand, verse 43, till I make thy enemy thy footstool. What is Yeshua saying? The one that is lowercase in 42 was told by the uppercase Lord, which is the power, sit thou on my right hand, so I can take this here and make thy enemies thy footstool. So the Father was telling, which is Hamashiach, right hand, is his right hand, was telling the Son of Yah to sit here in the heavens until I make the earth, which is the enemy on the earth, your footstool. So Yeshua said, so how is it Christ, Yah's power, David's son? Yeshua. Oh boy, and me living today, I told you I'm a living prophet, not a dead one. Just to hear that just make me feel good, because it made me see what I'm feeling right here today, knowing that people are claiming all this, and there they have no power. Okay, and David, and here go the Yeshua saying, how could Hamashiach be David's son? It don't make sense. Even then, Yeshua saw that it didn't make sense. And then what did he say? In 44, David therefore called him Lord. How is he then the son? And if you look at it, look at the question marks. Yeshua is asking questions, trying to figure out where are these people getting this trash from? They done made it up in their own mind. It's going to be the way they say it. No, and there's nothing else. Let's go now to the last verse, and this is going to sum the whole message up. Psalms 110. And this here shows you David finna step into the scene that what Yeshua is telling the disciples about. Like, where y'all getting all this mess from? See, and that made me feel good, because that shows you that just because we telling spirit and truth don't make us the enemy, make us wrong, make us look bad. No. Just because you can't grip spirit and truth, you don't have no light to see into darkness. You the one bent, and the lake of fire is waiting for you, not me. I'm giving you the light, spirit and truth. These other people giving you trash for your flesh. That which are born of the flesh embrace the things of the flesh. They feel justified, clarified, and identified. They feel holy. They feel anointed in their flesh. They have nothing for the spirit. And they don't understand that flesh goes to the earth. And if your spirit don't have nothing regarding spirit and truth in it, it's going to the lake of fire. Flesh going to the grave, back to the ground, and spirit going to the lake of fire. Okay. Now in Psalms 110, verse 1 through 3. Now listen to this. And this is David. This is what Yeshua was saying to them, to his disciples now. He was saying, now, how is it that Christ is David's son? What the crap y'all talking about? It's just like Sister Deborah said, where is that power? Today, where is your power? You say you got the Ruach HaKodesh. Show up on your power. Pull that power out. You ain't got none. Okay. Now in Psalms 110, it says, verse 1, and the Lord said unto my Lord, David is sitting here separating. Father, no, come on now. Come on, Father. Yeah, don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. Wow. Psalms 110. Look how David was able to dissect the difference between the Lord. David knew the difference in the Son of Yah and the Son of Man. Did he know? He knew. Here it is. Verse 1, Psalms 110. The Lord said unto my Lord. Now you're talking to lords. One is the Son of Man, born of a woman that was in the heavens as an angel that was made little Lord. And then you have the first Lord that's capitalized, that's the Father. So it's like saying, and the Father said unto the Son, hallelujah, sit thou on my right hand till I make thy enemy thy footstool. He was telling the Son of Man to sit here on my right hand, the lamb that was slaughtered for the sacrifice of our sin. You're going to have to sit right here until my power works some things out down yonder. You're going to have to sit here, and this right hand that's next to you, it's going to work some things for you before you go down there. Because you're going to need this, baby. That's the Father saying, you're going to need this, bro. So what is he saying? Sit here until I make that enemy, that earth down yonder, your footstool. And then what did he say? And the Lord shall, which is the Father, and the Father shall send the rod of thy strength out of Zion. Rule thy in the midst of thy enemy. Rule thy in the midst of thy enemy. See, y'all is sending that right hand down there. Watch this here, verse 3. Thy people shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauty of the holiness from the womb of the morning. Thou hast the drew of thy youth. Yah is letting him know the day of thy power. Who is that power? That right hand. That's what Yah said. Sit here on my right hand till I let this right hand step out with you. I'm going to prepare the earth for you, but I'm going to let this right hand come down with you. See, we missing it. That's it. That's it. See, even David knew. You mean David knew? Yeah, Deborah, I told you. David came down like you came down. That's why he knew. And it's a good thing for me, because it made me realize that all this time I might be alone today, but I was never alone yesterday, because those are the ones I can truly say, and I can actually say today that those are my real brothers in Yah. Those are the bloodline of the Spirit. You see, and they're sending messages, that say, Deborah, you think you ended it alone, but look here. They was like that way back in our time. Yeshua showed it up. He said, wait a minute, hold up. How is it that Hamashiach is David's son? That same thing I say today. I say the same thing. These people are off their rocker, even to today. So I, Sister Deborah, appreciate each and every last one of you in the live chat. This is the type of powerful message that rests within Sister Deborah. This is the type of message that carries full spirit and truth. And you're not going to find too many taking heed to it, listening to it, embracing it, or even understanding it. They would even draw hate. They would even become an enemy before they would embrace this message, which is a good thing, because it matches up with everything that has to been said of my brothers back in the days. They weren't embraced as well. They wasn't received. When I hear about Samuel and all the things that he suffered, and yet no, he was still here showing them miracles and signs and showing the power. It didn't matter if they had the power right in front of their faces. They didn't care if Yeshua had miracles and signs and wonders and was waking the dead or laying hands on the sick and doing. It didn't matter. Y'all wants me to know. It don't matter, Deborah. As it didn't then, so is it today. He said that which was in the dark, though, Deborah, that which was in the dark shall come to the light in the last days, because my power is going to release everything to be seen. And that's what he told me yesterday, as I told you all. He said everything is clearly seen. So I hope you saw this message and you got some verses and chapters wrote down, and just do your own little reading. And to me, this was what you call a full meal deal in the spirit realm. So I, Sister Deborah, again, appreciate each and every last one of you all tuning in. And I will say shalom and shalom.